our group is Discipleship, and there were a lot of different possibilities that we discussed, but we narrowed it down to start with 3. The first one is Visitor Connect. We feel like we really need a group that can connect with visitors, get them oriented into church activities, and make them feel a part of our fellowship here. Buddy and I both have a passion for that, so I'm pretty sure we're going to meet again and try to get some people with like passions, and let's try to get this going with some follow-up, with handouts, whatever it takes, whatever we feel like will help them connect with our group. The second thing were for the youth. We have from ages 6 to 8 in one group, ages 9 to 12 in others, and we need grades. I'm sorry. Aaron and Buddy both had a passion for that, but we need teachers that do not rotate in and out all the time. We felt like we needed 2 teachers there all the time so that these kids could connect and the leaders could start mentoring the youth. And Aaron and Buddy are going to talk about that, and then we may meet again as a group and try to come up with some possibilities. And so as you're out and you think of someone who has a heart for the youth, let us know. Let Buddy know, let Aaron know, let Bill, let me, let Jeff, let us know that you think would be a good teacher to assist Aaron and Buddy. And they can tell you what the curriculum is, what you need to do, and they'll be happy to work with you in any way you can. But we just need to get in touch with these kids. Plus, we want to be able to follow up with them as they go to school. Again, I mentioned earlier that the Terrys and Darlene's group, they were wonderful to reach out to the youth after they went to school and make them still feel like they have a place to come home to and that people miss them and they care. So there's a whole nother ministry opportunity. So if you think about all the ages that have needs, we need to be in prayer about it. We need to be praying that God brings someone to mind and notify Aaron again and our group and let us talk to them about it and see where their heart is, because we need to take care of our youth. And they are the future of the church. And we do have a responsibility to each other's children. The third thing was an outreach to basically groups within the church. And we talked about a possibility of doing something on Sunday nights. It doesn't have to be Sunday nights. We just know that that's open for adults. And we talked about having small groups, having small group studies, either here or in the homes. Maybe some of the topics could be parenting. You know, whatever the needs are, we can pull each Sunday school class or a lot of group of people and see what their immediate needs are. Then we can start a small group for that. It could be a mentoring group. Anything that there is a need. There's so many wonderful studies out there that can meet every need sitting here in this room and within the church. We just need to get a group of people that have a passion for different opportunities within the church, such as parenting, marriage, financial. Some of this has already been addressed to a degree, but we can have small groups doing that. So those are 3 focuses that we felt like we wanted to focus on is our main focus. Anything, Bill, or anybody else that was in the group that we need to touch on?
I don't think so, except in the special,
the outreach groups that we're talking about, they could be in the church or they could be outside of the church. Jeff brought up the wives of the men that are in prison, that we could do some kind of short connect group or training group, or just try to connect with them because they're out there unsupported, basically, as far as the husbands being gone. So that was one he came up with. But we're talking about any group, any special group that comes up with a need. 5 to 10 people is all that matters. Discipleship is about going and bringing somebody else in and teaching them to be a disciple. And if we have to go out to get them, then we go out to get them. So outreach is not just in the church, but outreach is anywhere we can get a group of people and pull them in.
And John, this could also be a connect where we cross over, because if these husbands are out of the home and they're in prison, we've got women with children in homes possibly that steps are falling apart, or it needs to be painted, or they need yard work. You know, we can cross over with, and they all cross over, these ministries do.
I will tell you that when we did One Day with God last year, I walked the gal out that was my kids, and I looked at her car. It was literally falling apart. It probably hadn't been cleaned out for 2 years. It was littered with everything. She just needed help getting that car done because she probably didn't have time to do it herself and didn't know how to do it.
And these people are already stressed, and they're already under a lot of oppression. And they're overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed.
With the personnel that are in service, the spouses that are up there.
Exactly. See, that's another crossover. Very good. And you know, anything that we can do to meet these needs.
Right, and we've got One Day with God coming up. Maybe in advance we could find out some of their needs and do them the day that they're here, whatever it might be. You know, it might be another opportunity.
Well, and also to add to that, if we know there is a spouse that is having some issues and doesn't want to bring the children to see the husband, if we could get in there and start ministering to her in some way before that day, if we know of that, then it's a possibility it would tender her heart, and she would come and bring those children to see that dad. Okay? Yeah, and it does. Anything else?